Let's quickly go to Sublime. Let's start with our system design class. So this is my Sublime text where you can see the topic, which is Instagram high level design, right? So what we are going to cover is we are going to cover scope and definition, who are the end consumers of our system, getting the requirement clarification, functional, non-functional, and out of scope. Then very important, relation between users and graph vertices. I'll come to that part. Then we'll go to capacity analysis, HLD, review schema, detailed component design. This, guys, this is one of the most important questions you can say in interview. One of the most important aspect of designing Instagram or any social media for that matter. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you guys use, it is the one of the most important. How is newsfeed generated? How is timeline generated, as you call all these things? Then we can go to design, business flow, CDN, and bottlenecks. Okay. Quickly give me a hi in the chat. Quickly give me a hi in the chat if you can see the Sublime text. Everybody, quickly give me hi in the chat if you can see the Sublime text. Cool. I can see a lot of hi, so you guys can use the Sublime text. Cool, guys. Let's start with first thing first. Okay, I'm asking some questions. Just give me your answer in the chat. First thing first. There are some social media that I am writing, and you guys tell me which one you use the most, and then I will tell you why I'm asking this question. One is Facebook, one is Instagram, one is Twitter. LinkedIn is like more of a professional platform, so I'm not counting it as part of social media. And one is TikTok. Guys, give me your preference. Give me your preference in increasing to decreasing order. For example, if you use Twitter most, just say Twitter, then whatever till the end. Okay, just give me your preference. Take some time. Just let me know. I just want to check one thing, then I will come to that. Guys, be active in the chat. Just let me see. Okay, let's go to the answer. Let me see. Instagram, none of the above. Okay. Telegram is not actually a social media. It's more of a end-to-end chat applications like WhatsApp, right? It's just a messenger kind of application. Insta, then FB, then Twitter, Insta, then Twitter, Insta, FB. So I see a lot of you guys. Okay, one is Facebook. Rest all of you are Insta, then Twitter. Cool. Most of you guys have seen your preference is Instagram over all other these social media platforms. Okay. LinkedIn, I'm not counting because LinkedIn is a professional media, not exactly a social media, right? And Telegram is more of an end-to-end messaging service like WhatsApp or WeChat if anybody uses these kind of things. So this got most number of votes. Okay. So this is our going to be the topic as well for system design. Now let's talk about few of the features of Instagram. And I believe all of you guys know the features of these different things, right? Facebook, it's used for your posts, your videos, your photos, your update status, everything. Birthdays as well. I personally use Facebook for reminding me birthdays. Anyhow, Instagram is mostly majorly a video sharing and photo sharing platform, mostly, right? With the introduction of Reels, it has high number of videos now. Twitter, you guys know, used for tweets, which has a limit of 140 characters. TikTok is a short medium platform, correct? Let's focus on Instagram and let's talk about few of its features. I'm not writing the requirements here. I will write the requirements later, but let me ask a poll as well, which I asked on LinkedIn as well. Instagram has many features, guys. One is Reels, which they recently added. One is Stories. In the Stories also, they provide you two kind of stories, which is public story and which one is private story. Okay, then they have this IGTV where you can do live kind of interaction with your audience. You can go live and all these things. Correct. And what else? Of course, there are memes. So guys, tell me, what is the reason that you use Instagram out of these or others if you have in comments? Tell me one major reason which you love about Instagram out of these five or four or five. Reels, stories, IGTV, posts, memes, or anything else in the comment. Quickly answer in the chat so I can see. Okay. Just tell me one best feature that you like, or this is one reason. If you have to give one reason why you are on Instagram, this is the one reason I am on Instagram. Okay, 10 more seconds, guys. I will wait, then I will see the answers. Cool. Memes, reels, to like pages and join something. Guys, there is no like in Instagram. Remember that. Why I'm saying that, we'll come to that. There is always a follow in Instagram. There is no like on Instagram. Like in the sense you cannot like a page, you have to follow a page. Reels, memes, filter, okay, reels. To gather updates from verified accounts. To gather updates from verified account. I'm not sure which purpose it is used for. Okay. Like the verified account from celebrity and media influencers, right? Okay. Getting more updates, keep myself. Some people use it for news also. Okay, that is good. Cool guys. So that is what I wanted to know. A lot of you guys have said reels. So let's go talk about reels. We'll take that as part of our scope as well. And it is a good thing to know that most of you, now the creators and the influencers, you guys would know about a lot of creators, a lot of influencers, they give you a valuable content via reels, right? Something related to stock market, something related to tech courses, anything it can be, whatever topic you follow. This is what kind of our basic Instagram looks like. Okay. Now let's start with our system design. First thing first, let's go about scope and definition of our system. What we are trying to make, how do we make it, and all these things. Let's talk about that. Okay. Here is my scope and definition of Instagram. So what is Instagram basically? It has few features. It is a photo sharing and video sharing platform. Photo sharing and video sharing platform basically, right? It enables user to upload, to share photos and videos, correct? Stories, stories will take as part of a functional requirement, but if we talk about on a broad level, this is a scope and definition, right? It's a photo sharing and video sharing platform which includes uploading and sharing of photos and videos, correct? Now when I say upload and sharing, there are two options. What are the options? First one is public, second one is private. What is the meaning of public and private? Public means anybody can see, and anybody can see their content, anybody can see their post, anybody can see their check-ins, all these things. Private means only followers can see. I hope these basic functionalities everybody know, right? Some accounts are public in nature, some accounts are private in nature. So in case of public account, you cannot see their content, that will be hidden. In case of private account, you will be able to see. In case of public account, you cannot see anything. In case of private account, you will not be able to see. Correct? Okay. Quickly give me yes, guys, if everybody clear. Give me yes if everybody clear. These are basic scope and definition of our system. Basic scope and definition of our system. Okay, clear. Cool. Now going to the next part. There is one more thing, guys. If you have noticed, there is something called news feed. News feed in news feed you call, timeline you call, whatever you want to call, right? In Instagram. So when you open Instagram, you must have seen, you see a lot of posts, you see a lot of reels, you see a lot of content, which is just a content from the accounts you follow. Agree? That account can be a page, that account can be a celebrity, that account can be a community, that account can be a person. Accounts mean the complete account. So I'm not dividing the accounts as such. It can be pages, it can be community, it can be people whom you follow, it can be celebrity, whatever you call. That is something you get on Instagram. So public and private, two kind of accounts. Photo sharing, video sharing platform. User can upload and share photos and videos. Agree? All agree? Give me yes in the chat. Okay. Let me see the responses in the chat. Scope and definition, everything, everybody clear? Simple scope and definition, everybody clear? Cool. Now let's move to the next part. This is, I'm marking it as done. Now we'll go into a deeper part, which is this consumers of our system. And this is important, guys. Who are the end consumers of my system? Like who is consuming the Instagram, or who are the stakeholders of Instagram, basically, right? Okay. Stakeholders of Instagram means, first thing first, if you remember the previous session that we have done on Netflix, there also we discussed about it. First is clients. Clients mean all kind of devices. All kind of devices, right? So devices, can I use Instagram in my phone? Yes. Can I use Instagram in my Mac? Yes. Can I use Instagram in my PC? Yes. Can I use Instagram in my tab? Yes. So all the devices where you can use that application, your laptop, your PC, your Mac, your mobile you use, it's combination of Android and iOS. So all kind of devices, all kind of softwares it should support, operating system it should support. Okay. tab, etc. Whatever the device is that is making a client, that is the one which is making the request to open Instagram. These are the clients. This is the first consumer of my system. Second consumer is the user, like those who are reading it. So this is read based. I open something, I'm not posting anything, I'm just watching the timeline. I'm a read based user. Third one is what? Third one is the user who have access to upload, and everybody have access to upload. Okay, everybody have access to upload photo or video on Instagram. This is my platform. Basically, this user I've categorized into three different parts. Why I'm categorizing into it, we'll come to that, read versus write part. Okay, first thing, consumers of my system, a client, which is a device, the device which I'm using on Instagram or to access Instagram. Second, the user who is just doing a read operation, and third, the user who is doing a write operation. Quickly give me clear if everybody clear with that. If you guys remember in the previous class, I'll come to that later. Quickly give me clear if everybody clear with that. Okay, let me see in the chat. Okay, all clear, clear, clear. Cool guys, be quick, type clear so I can see. And guys, feel free to stop me whenever you feel the pace is too fast or whenever you feel the pace is too slow. I will speed it up or speed it down accordingly. Okay. If the speed is very fast, speed is very slow, please feel free to tell me in the chat. I will slow down or I will pace up accordingly. Okay, moving back. So if you guys remember, the third kind of entity that you see here, in the case of Netflix, only limited people have the access to write, right? For example, big production houses or the production houses who can upload the video, only those people have the access to write. In our case, every user who creates an account can do write operation. Agree? For example, if you have an account on Netflix, your account is read based, right? You can view movies, you can view documentaries, but you cannot upload documentaries on Netflix. But if you create an account on Instagram, you can read, you can see the post as well as you can post it, you can upload something, right? You have both read and write access. Everybody agrees, yes or no? These are basic fundamentals of read and write. Basic fundamental of read and write operations on any system. And it's very important to understand the read write ratio. It's read heavy, write heavy, whatever and all agrees this is going to be read and write operations, which is much more in Instagram as compared to in case of Netflix. Okay. Now guys, let's discuss about something else. In the last class also, we talked about read heavy versus write heavy. How many of you remember what is read heavy application, what is write heavy application? Quickly answer me in the chat. Let's see a quick knowledge check here. Those who have attended, those who have not attended, although I discussed personally in last class a lot, but even those who have not attended, how much of you guys know about read heavy versus write heavy? Tell me in the chat, guys, if you guys know the difference. Whatever you know, there is no right or wrong answer here. I just want to know how much you are clear with the concepts. Quickly answer in the chat, guys. Number of reads are more in read heavy. Okay, read by write ratio. Okay, what else? Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Read heavy, more of reads. Read write ratio. Okay. What is the meaning of read heavy? What is the meaning of write heavy? That's the basic question first. When you say that application is read heavy and that application is write heavy, what is that? If you have to explain it to a 5-year-old, how will you explain? That's how much understanding you should have. Number of reads are more number of reads. Consume content more, that is read heavy. Okay. Let's go in a bit. I will not go much into bit technical. Technical, we'll talk about ratios and all. There are many uploads and views. Okay. Consume the content. You can upload your own content as well. Like Quora is read heavy application. Okay. Cool. Let's go and talk about something. Guys, read means you are not uploading any content. You are not pushing any data to the server. Correct. All you are doing is just a get call. Write, on the other hand, it can be a post, it can be put. If you are updating, post means, let me clarify here also. Post means upload new, put means edit whatever you have already there. That's the difference between post and put. Patch is something else, but we don't need to go that deep. Read means where a user is viewing, view more, right? Write means post more. Now, just take a time, understand this definition of read and write, and tell me whether Instagram is a read heavy application or it is a write heavy application? The question is it read heavy application or is it write heavy application? Instagram is read heavy or write heavy? Take your time. The definition is clear to you. What does read heavy means? What does write heavy means? Now apply that feature on the platform Instagram and try to answer whether Instagram is read heavy or write heavy. Cool guys, answer in the chat. Let me drink some water in the meantime. It's write heavy, it's read heavy, both. How a system can be both, guys? Is this session getting recording? Yes, this session is getting recorded. No need to worry. Write heavy, read heavy. Okay. Cool guys. Now there's a big competition between read heavy guys versus write heavy guys. Who is correct? How will I know? Anybody else? Because I see 50-50 percentage ratio of those who are saying read and write both. Okay, write heavy, more write heavy than Netflix. Yes, that part I totally agree. It is for Netflix, it is much more write heavy. But in general, is it read versus write? Read heavy, white can't have both. White can't have both. Good question. See, either you can classify as read heavy or you can classify as write heavy. These are exhaustive in nature. Okay. Let's make a very simple post. Suppose there is one user who has 1,000 followers. It can have 1,000 followers, right? Let's say there are 1,000 people who follow me on Instagram. When I upload a pic, and try to understand what I'm explaining here. I upload a pic and it will go to all 1,000 followers. I did one post, there are 1,000 views. And that 1,000 is only for followers. If my account is public, that is for private account. Okay. If I make my account public, and I use some tags, right? Tags like, hey, hashtag this, hashtag that, right? So one post and I use something like this. Hashtag travel, hashtag trending, and all these things, whatever hashtag are used to increase your outreach. That can go up to easily 10K views also, or even more than that also. Basic things everybody know, yes or no? This feature, two kind of accounts, private account, public account. Private account, only your followers can see it. So let's say if I have 1,000 followers, I upload a picture, only those 1,000 followers can see it. It will appear in their timeline. That one thing. In case my account is public, right? Even if I have 1,000 followers, but I use some hashtags, even if I tag a place, if I tag a person, in that case, my outreach will definitely reach. Everybody agrees that or no? In tags, let me just clarify it. It can be hashtags, it can be check-in. What else? It can be collaboration. So let's say I'm doing it with the celebrity, I will collaborate. Now it will get much more outreach. Everybody agrees? Give me yes in the chat if you guys agree. Anybody has questions, please feel free to ask. All of you agree? All of you agree? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All of you agree. Now, guys, just focus on the question that I asked, read heavy versus write heavy. One post is having 10,000 views. One post is having 1,000 views. Is it read or is it write? Read heavy or write heavy? Just see the ratio. Just read write ratio. How many reads based upon one write? That was your read write ratio. That is coming here 1,000:1 or 10,000:1, depending upon which kind of user you are. My read write ratio, which we discussed in last class also, it is coming to roughly 10K:1 or maybe 1,000:1 in case of private accounts. Read write ratio. Cool. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Is it read heavy or write heavy? It is read heavy. Read heavy, not write heavy, guys. It is read heavy. And just to be clear, every social media that you use, it's most probably read heavy. You take example of Twitter, you take example of TikTok, you take example of Facebook, Instagram, Quora, anything. All of these are read heavy applications. By default, they are read heavy applications, right? because the purpose of creating this platform is to increase the outreach, right? That is why all of these are read heavy application. That is one thing I wanted to discuss. First thing, we have covered scope and definition. Second thing, we have covered consumers of our system. Third thing, we have covered whether it is read or write heavy application. These three things we have covered in our system design or our requirement. Now we'll start with requirement. These things we have covered about Instagram. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear with these three things. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Scope and definition done, consumer of system done, read and write heavy operations done. These three things we have covered very quickly. I think it's only 20-25 minutes and we have covered these three things very quickly. All clear? All of you are getting? Cool. Feel free to stop me, guys, whenever you see something or you want me to repeat something or you are not able to understand something. I will explain it again or maybe using a different example. Okay, now moving forward to our requirements. Guys, in requirements, I will divide into two parts. One is functional, one is non-functional. And we already discussed in the last class difference between functional and non-functional requirements. And then we'll try to see, but if anything is beyond our scope of system, not in scope, if we are having any consideration, that also will write down. So we exactly know what kind of system we are trying to build here. Starting with the very first, functional requirements. What is the most basic thing about Instagram? What is the most basic thing about Instagram? Obviously, you should be able to upload photos. You should be able to view photos. Okay, you should be able to follow others. Understand one thing, guys, here. In Facebook, there are two different concepts. You can like a page and you can follow a particular person. You can like a page, you can follow a particular person, you can add. That's a different kind of algorithm. In case of Instagram, you have to follow everybody, whether it is a page, whether follow others, let me write, whether it's a page, whether it's a community, whether it's a person, everybody has a follow, right? Like is very, very specific to photos and videos, not to the person. I cannot go to a person account and I can click on like. There is no functionality of like. Functionality of like is only limited to the content, not to the user. That part everybody clear? Functionality of like is limited to only the content, not the user in case of Instagram. In case of Facebook, it is allowed for the user also and the content also. You can like a page, you can like a post as well in case of Facebook. But we are not discussing Facebook here, we're discussing Instagram here. Everybody clear? Okay, moving next. Moving next, you can follow others. What else? Your system should be able to generate and display newsfeed. What does newsfeed mean, guys? Or whatever you call timeline. That means top post from people you follow. Okay, top means latest one as well as most trending one that you guys can see. This is our functional requirements. So I'm repeating. First, you can upload. Second, you can view. Third, you can follow others. Fourth, you can generate and display newsfeed, which is your timeline. In your timeline, you will be able to see top posts from the people you follow. In people also, let me replace with accounts. It can be people, it can be hashtag. You can also follow hashtag, guys, just to be clear. Quickly give me yes if everybody clear with functional requirements. Quickly give me clear if everybody clear with functional requirements of Instagram. Be quick, guys, then I will take it forward from there. Clear. Cool. Now let's talk about non-functional requirements. Obviously, the first thing that you will want is system should be highly reliable. That has to be there for every system, right? Because you are doing a post operation here. Highly reliable in the sense means you uploaded something. Let's say I uploaded a reel. Well, I don't make reel, just to be clear. You uploaded a photo, you uploaded content, you uploaded IGTV, whatever you upload. In that case, do you want that photo is deleted automatically? No, right? You should be the one to decide, should I delete this or not delete this? But it should not be like, hey, I had a very good picture, so I shared it and Instagram deleted that picture. You don't want that, right? So it should be very highly reliable. Reliable in the sense, any uploaded any uploaded content. So I'm marking it as content. It can be IGTV, it can be reels, it can be post, it can be anything, right? Photos, whatever you want. That should not be deleted. Should not be deleted. It should be highly reliable. Okay. Second thing is latency. Of course, it has to be very low latency. Nobody is going to wait that Instagram is taking so much time to get new photos. Low latency, right? So what we are trying to do is in our timeline, we're trying to put a number. Maybe let's take 150 ms or 200 ms. That is at max we will do. 200 ms is a really good number. 150 is even better. So we just want very low latency in case of our timeline. Timeline means I open my Instagram application, whatever platform, maybe from device, maybe from Apple phone, maybe from my mobile, maybe from my laptop. I should be quickly able to see what is there on the timeline. Everybody clear with these two non-functional requirements? First is highly reliable, second is low latency. Highly reliable, second is low latency. Quickly give me yes in the chat. Let me check. Okay. Read heavy means number of views are much more than number of posts. Read and write are two different. Read means just you are viewing the content, you are consuming the content. Write means you're posting the content, you're uploading something. So one post there can be 1,000 views, one post there can be million views, right? So that read to write ratio is very heavy because for one post, what post means one write, one post means one write. But that one post can have thousands of views, millions of views. That's why all of these are read heavy applications. Okay, it's not write heavy. Cool, that part is clear. Now coming to availability versus consistency. In last class also, I spent a lot of time in understanding CAP theorem. How many of you remember it? How many of you remember it? Quickly give me yes in the chat. CAP theorem, very important concept of system design, or especially for distributed systems when you're working with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you remember. What about others? Guys, CAP theorem, we discussed a lot about CAP theorem. Anybody remembers? I discussed a lot in detail. So answer in the chat, guys, not in the reaction. Answer me in the chat. Give me yes or no if you remember CAP theorem. If anybody doesn't remember that, also say me no. Joint last meeting, P is performance. No, P is partition tolerance. P is not performance. P is not performance. P is partition tolerance. Guys, this is very important. Don't miss out these concepts because these are the building blocks of system design, right? CAP theorem, let me quickly revise in case those who don't remember and in case those who have not joined the last session and they are not aware of it. Okay. This CAP theorem says, let's understand CAP first. CAP is consistency. A means availability. C means consistency. A means availability. And P means partition tolerance. Partition tolerance. Okay. Partition tolerance means multiple points of failure. It means one particular service will crash, complete service should not crash. That is partition tolerance. Okay. Consistency, availability, partition tolerance, CAP, basically CAP theorem. What does CAP theorem says? Only 2 out of 3 CAP properties, only 2 out of these 3 CAP properties can be satisfied in a system. Only 2 out of 3 can be satisfied in a system. No system can satisfy all the 3 properties together. Okay, in a system. Now, when you're working with distributed databases or when you're working with distributed systems, in that case, that is already handled. Partition tolerance is already there in case of distributed system. So that one is already there, right? Now you have to select one from this. Either select consistent or you select available. Either you select consistent or you select available. That's why we have two kind of systems in our software. We call it two types of systems. One is called CP system, one is called AP system. Okay, CP means you prefer consistency over availability. And the reverse of it is AP. You prefer availability over consistency. Okay, that's the two kind of system we have. I did a detailed discussion on that. Let me see if I have to do it again or not. Availability versus consistency, right? So in consistency, when your consistency is more than availability, that is like this. Every distributed system, they work on replicas, right? Replicas means master slave model. All nodes have to be consistent, has to be consistent with the updated changes. Consistency have to be updated with the consistent changes. Okay, so if I just talk about a bit of master slave model, that is something like this. Let's say node 1, this is my master, and then I have slave nodes here. Node 2, node 3, node 4, all of these are slave nodes. Okay, these are just replicas. If I change something in the node 1, it should be changed to node 2, node 3, node 4. That is means consistency. Every node should have the updated data. Everybody clear? Give me yes in the chat. Everybody clear? Give me yes in the chat. I'll give an example just to make it more clear in case anybody has doubts. Guys, answer in the chat. I will not be able to see reactions every time. All clear? All clear? Okay, cool. Let me give you some examples to explain it better. You make one change in the master and you want all these changes in the slave, right? Based upon that, we define two kinds of consistency. Consistency means strong consistency, by the way, by default. And there is another concept called eventual consistency. Okay. Strong consistency means what? The moment I update my master, the moment I update master, all slave nodes will be updated at the same time. So it will have no stale data. No stale data. Okay. Eventual consistency means moment I update master, slave nodes will not be updated at the same time. Will not be updated at same time, but they will be eventually updated. Eventually means node 1, node 2 will update, then node 3 will update, then node 4 will update. Some latency will be there. Some latency will be there. Okay, eventually they will be updated. Eventually they will be updated. Okay, so there will be stale data. Stale means old. Stale means old or non-updated data, whatever you call. That is the meaning of stale data. Okay, let's understand this with a simple example that everybody of you will relate. All of you, I believe, use Paytm, GPay, whatever you call. All of you guys used these bank account related applications, bank account, Paytm, GPay, PhonePe, whatever you call. All of you guys use, yes or no? All of you guys use, yes or no? All of you guys use it. Okay. Now let's take a very simple example. Let's say a user has account, right? A user has account in any of the banks. Let's take any random bank for that example. Okay. And he has account balance like 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh he has. Okay. Now he goes to a ATM and he withdraw how much? 10,000 rupees. Can you guys tell me what is the remaining balance? If you have 10,000, if you have 1 lakh in your account, you withdraw 10,000, what will be the amount in your balance? What will be the amount in your ATM? Simple calculation, 1 lakh minus 10,000, you will give me 1 lakh minus 10k, you will say my account has 90k. So in that ATM, let's call it as ATM A. Okay. ATM A will tell him, hey, your balance is 90k. All agrees? ATM A will tell you from that ATM where you have withdrawn, that it will tell you, hey, you have performed a withdrawal, so your balance is now reduced to 90k. All agree? Give me yes in the chat. Okay. Now, if he goes to some other ATM, ATM B, ATM C, ATM D, what do you guys think? Will they tell him, will they tell the balance as 1 lakh or will they tell the balance as 90k? What do you think? The question is simply this: I go to one ATM, I withdraw the money. If I go to some other ATM, will it show me my previous balance or will it show me my current balance? Guys, you current balance, current balance, right? It means what? It means what? I did this ATM A. This is my master. Agree. This is where I performed an operation. This is my master. I performed operation here. All other ATMs are slaves. All other ATMs are slaves. I performed one operation in master. All slaves are updated at the exact same time. It is not possible that, let's say, two ATM are together. In one ATM, I did withdrawal. It will tell 90K. Immediately I go to next ATM. It will say, here it is still 1 lakh. Your transaction is in progress. Something like that. That will not tell. The moment you perform a transaction, any financial transaction, that's just one example of ATM I have given, any financial transaction, it will be updated everywhere in the globe. Everywhere, every POC in the globe. Give me yes if everybody clear. Yes, balance will be consistent through all the ATMs. This is what strong consistency. This is what strong consistency. That is what strong consistency means like or looks like. Everybody clear with strong consistency? You perform one operation at master, all slave nodes will be updated at the exact same time. All slave nodes will be updated at the exact same time. Give me clear in the chat if everybody clear. Okay, cool. Now let's take an example of eventual consistency. Eventual consistency. So that I will take here because I'm preferring availability over consistency. Right. In case of even examples are, by the way, which I discussed in last class also. Any social media you use, all of these are based upon eventual consistency. Any social media, any content platform where you are consuming, all of these are eventually consistent. And when you're making a payment interface, when you're making something related with financings, all of these have to be strong consistent. They have to be, right? Now let's understand this on Instagram. In Instagram, let's say a user has 1 million followers. A user has 1 million followers. Let's say he or she is a celebrity, so he has 1 million followers. Now, the question is the moment he posts, let's say he posts something, one post. Will everyone see at the same time? Will everyone in the globe see at the same time? Let's take example of Cristiano Ronaldo, right? I think he has the highest number of followers. I'm not updated with the current one, but I think he has the most number of followers. So not sure how much it is. I think it's 300 million or something. So let's take Ronaldo. Ronaldo posted 300 million followers. Remember, guys, these 300 million followers are all countries, everywhere, everywhere in globe, right? Not just in Portugal, not just in Europe, in India, in Pakistan, in China, wherever it is, everywhere in globe, right? So when he make a post, it will go to all his 300 million followers. Now the question is, now the question is, will everyone, all of these 300 million followers, will they see it at the same time? Will they see it at the same time? What do you guys think? Yes. Answer is answer is no. They will never see it at the same time. We'll come to that. What is eventual consistency, right? What will happen is eventually everyone will see. First who will see the people who are nearby based upon these load balancers. Next, people who are far from region, and then who are from the less bandwidth. Eventually, everyone will see. Understand one thing, guys. Not everybody lives at the same place. Not everybody is near the server, and not everybody has the same bandwidth. Correct? So we are talking about a global environment or distributed environment. In that case, eventually it will go for. This is example of eventual consistency. In case of AP databases or AP systems we call eventual consistency. That will be eventually consistent. Eventually means master did something. For example, Ronaldo on his Instagram did something. Slaves in the sense of the followers, they will not see at the same time. Eventually they will see. And guys, this latency is very less in microseconds. For example, somebody sitting in US will see it, let's say 2 microseconds before me. Let's say I'm in Europe and it will take me 2 microseconds difference 2 microseconds, you will not even notice the difference. For a human behavior, 2 microseconds, you will not be able to notice the difference. That is why you guys feel like, hey, everybody is seeing at the same time. No, it is eventually updated. This is called eventual consistency. Why we are preferring availability over consistency is because, let's see, let's form a user operation. When I say availability means I open Instagram, I open my Instagram, I see nothing. That means my system is not available. Do you guys want that? Do you guys want that? You open Instagram, you see nothing. Do you guys want that? No. Second option is, second option is, I open Instagram, I see new post a bit later in the sense 5 microseconds, 10 microseconds. Which option will you follow? First option or second option? First option, you open Instagram, you will not see anything. System is not available, right? You're trying to make a get request, system is not responding, system is not available. Second option is system is available, the latest data is not there, latest data will be given in some time. Latest data will be given in some time. Which one do you prefer, the first one or the second one? As a user, tell me honestly. Which one will you see? Tell me honestly. Obviously, you'll go for the second one, right? Nobody wants a system where I see nothing. Nothing is available means system is not available. System is not responding with anything. Here, system is available, but eventually consistent. Not strong consistent, it is eventually consistent. Okay. And as per the CAP theorem, we cannot have both consistency and availability in case of distributed system. That's why we go for highly availability and eventual consistency in case of Instagram. That is my hair. Where is this non-functional requirement? Availability over consistency. Let me quickly note it down. My system will be eventually consistent. All of these things I have explained you just to write this one line of requirement. Take your time, just let me know if everybody clear. Take your time, just let me know when everybody clear. Then I will go to the next part. Guys, quickly give me clear in the chat or yes in the chat if everybody clear. Then I will go to next part. Okay, clear. Let me go through. Yeah. Cool. That part we have done in terms of non-functional requirements also. Okay, non-functional requirement, here is the list. One more thing, guys. There are few other things which are given in Instagram also, right? Extra. We have time, we can discuss. If we don't have, we will skip it. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but in stories, there are two options, right? If you see one in red color, that is viewable to all, and one is green color. Stories are two kind of things. Followers which you see in a red circle, and what is this called, close people or something, close friends or something. That's the label they have created, that is in green color. Have you guys seen this? There are two kind of stories, one with followers, one with close friends. And if somebody wants only few people to watch that story, they can do it in close friend. If somebody wants to give all the followers, then all the followers can see. Those who account have is public, so that we can divide in two parts. This is for a private account. This option is for private account. For public account, everybody can see. Everybody can see. If you guys use Instagram, you will definitely know this. Give me yes in the chat if everybody know this. In stories, two kind of accounts. Public account, anybody can view story. Private account, two options are there. Either only my followers can see me, so that is a red, you will see a red circle. And if I select only few people to see my story, I will put in the close friend list. That will be a green circle. I think you guys would have used it or at least know it. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Okay. Sometimes the transaction takes time, what really happens at that time? That is there because of the bank side. Understand, when we talk about payment interfaces, then we'll talk about that transaction is because, let's take a simple example. I am doing Paytm transaction from my HDFC Bank to SBI account, right? How does the request work? Paytm just works as an interface. The request will go to HDFC server. From HDFC server, it will interact with SBI. Now, whether there's a problem with HDFC or a problem with SBI, until unless it will get the response from both the servers, it will not come back to my Paytm, right? That's why it just works as an interface. Next, it goes to the server. So wherever a problem happens, that is when it takes time. It's not from the Paytm's end. It can be HDFC end, it can be SBI end. That's why you see bank server not working or something like that. That's a good, again, a very good system design to make phone pay, Paytm, and all these things. Sir, आवाज नहीं आ रही है. आवाज is good, I believe. Guys, am I audible? Give me yes in the chat. If I'm audible, give me yes in the chat. I'm audible. I'm perfectly audible. Please try to rejoin in case you're not able to, or please refresh it in case you're not able to get. Okay, cool. So we're talking about this thing where this kind of story is there. That is beyond our scope. We will discuss it. Is something extra we'll discuss. Okay. Second thing is suggestions. Have you guys observed something that let's say I go to Ronaldo account and I click follow. The moment you click follow, it will suggest you whom? Messi. It will suggest you Neymar and etc. Who are the footballers are there? They will suggest it. Have you guys seen it? You follow one particular account, it will give you suggestions to all the recommended accounts. Agree or not? Agree or not? Okay, so this is something extra. This is not in our functional requirements. We can have discussion about it. How does the recommendation system work? How does the suggestion work? We can discuss about it. Third thing, which is extra or not in our scope, these are tags. Okay, so you guys can see I can do search by hashtag. So if I go to my Instagram search bar, I can just type, hey, I want to see hashtag travel, or I want to see, hey, hashtag Dubai, or whatever place, whatever location you want. All of these are extra, not part of my requirements. The kind of things I'm building, not part of my requirements. But definitely we can discuss upon this. Definitely we can discuss upon this. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear with the requirements. Then I go to something next. Cool, all clear. Now let's go to something else, which is fifth part. 4 parts we have done till requirements. Let's go to fifth part that we have already covered. Fifth part is ability to support all the devices. This is exactly the same, which is done in case of Netflix. Obviously, guys, when you have multiple devices, you have Mac, you have PCs, you have mobile. In mobile, you have Android, you have some people use Windows Phone, some people use BlackBerry. I'm not sure if anybody still uses BlackBerry, but this is one of the operating system as well. iOS and tabs and all these things are there, right? So your application should support all the devices, correct? In that case, there can be many ways. So first thing is devices, second is format, third is their resolution, and fourth is their bandwidth. Do I need to repeat it because I've already done in the last session? Just let me know. Do I need to repeat it? Just give me yes. If you want to skip it, just give me no. Or just type skip in the chat. Because that's we have discussed in Netflix also. If you want me to repeat, type repeat. If you want to skip, please type skip. So we will go something repeat. Okay, it will take some 5-10 minutes, but anyhow, let's go through it. Repeat. Okay, anyhow, let's go through it. Let me see if I have the notes for Netflix. I will try to copy paste so it will save us time and I will explain. So let me see, I do have note for, let me check. Netflix also should be here somewhere. Yeah. So this is what I was telling in case of Netflix. Here it is. Yeah. Ability to support, I will discuss all that. So it will save me time. It will give you time as well. All of this we can just copy and now we can have discussed. Those who have not attended, guys, please pay important attention because you guys will be reading it for the first time. All other people who were there in the last class, they have already seen it. Okay. So for you guys, I'm explaining it again. So please pay attention, and it is important part. First thing first, ability to support all devices, right? Devices can be a list of devices, Mac, your phone, your tabs. In that, we can further classify Windows, iOS, Android, BlackBerry, etc. etc. Further classification can be done based upon operating system, right? Mac, PC we can use, laptop we can use. Okay. Now try to understand, guys. Try to understand. Each of the devices, Mac, phone, and all this list, etc., will have different formats. For example, if you are watching reels, or if you are watching pages, or if you're watching posts, or if you're watching images, images will be also in different formats. For example, in the sense, it can be PNG, it can be JPG, it can be a GIF, it can be anything. All of them will have different formats. According to the formats also, it will have different dimensions. It can be 1080p, it can be 4K, it can be anything. And last is your bandwidth, because you are making in a global region. Somebody who is coming from a low bandwidth area, somebody who's coming from a very low bandwidth area, they should also be able to see your post. Somebody who's from a very strong bandwidth area, they should also be see your post. Simply put, let's say two people follow me. One person lives in a geographical area who does not have a very good bandwidth, right? And other people live in a very good area where is a very strong bandwidth. So both of them should be able to see my post, because my content is not specific to anybody. My content is for my followers. Anybody, any place in the globe, they should be able to see my content. So these are the different combinations which you will have. List of devices, list of format, list of dimension, list of bandwidth. Give me yes in the chat, those who are new. Anybody of you has any doubt, please feel free to ask. Anybody who has any doubt, please feel free to ask. I have to support all devices. I have to support all formats. I have to support all dimension in all around the world. This is because you are making a global system. So Instagram is not limited to people in India or people in UK or people in your particular region. And Instagram is global. Anybody, if let's say if anybody sitting in US wants to see your account, he or she can use it once you give access. Access in the sense, once you accept your connection request, your account is private. If it's public, they can anyhow see it. Give me yes if everybody clear. Those who are not there in the last class, or those who are joining it for the first time. Okay. I made a list of combinations here. All devices it should support, all formats it should support, all dimension it should support, all bandwidth it should support, right? Now this number can be a very large number. I into j into k, this can be a very large number. So I have to make a system which can adjust accordingly. I have to make a system which can adjust accordingly, so that every user in the globe is able to see my Instagram feed. Every user is able to see my Instagram feed. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Okay. That is something important, guys. And please do watch the recording of Netflix where I talked about in detail about it. Please do watch it. Okay. Please do watch it. Recording will be given, so no need to worry that they will give you. Okay. Next part was ABS, which we talked in Netflix also, adaptive bitrate streaming, guys. So you guys must have seen when you try to play a reel, some portion of the reel will play in high quality, some portion of the reel, suddenly the quality will drop down and suddenly it will get back. Yes or no? When you're trying to play let's say you don't have a very good internet connectivity, you're trying to play a reel, suddenly you're using your mobile data, just for example, suddenly the quality will be good, suddenly it will drop down, suddenly it will get back. Have you guys seen it? You don't change the quality. By the way, in Instagram, there is no option to select the quality. In YouTube, there is. In Netflix, there is. Instagram, there is no option to select the quality. At least for today, because I use in the morning. So as of now, they have not had any such feature. Agree? Basically, what I'm saying is, let me just show on YouTube. Let's say I go to anything on YouTube, right? Let's choose any video. Let's talk about stock market or something. Stocks or something. Choose any video. Let me show a demo. Let me quickly mute it because I don't want to hear it. Just observe this thing, guys. In the settings option, you guys can see the quality. Everybody can see this, yes or no? In the settings option, I can see the quality. Everybody can see this, yes or no? All of you can see on YouTube. Guys, be active in the chat. Just let me know. All of you can see there are quality. So I can manually select the quality, right? Quality I want to watch in 720p, I want to 480p, I want 360p or whatever. In case of Instagram, if I go to my Instagram, so just if I just go to my Instagram, now if I want to watch in quality, that option is not there. For example, this is a post. Can I see something for different quality? I don't think so, right? If I see the options here, if I see the options here, there is no option for the quality. Delete is there, go to post is there, all these options are there, but there is no option for the quality. Any of the posts, I cannot see the quality. All of you agree to that? Give me yes in the chat. So you manually are not selecting the quality. The whole crux of that is you manually are not selecting the quality. But in case of reels or anything which contains high level of content, quality will be good, quality will be bad, and it will be automatically adjusted. You are not selecting it. Manual selection is a different thing. Automatic selection is a different thing. We are talking about automatic selection, right? So that automatically is selected. You guys are not doing it manually. How does that happen? Let's try to understand. As I told you about, it's never the complete video which is there, it's always the chunks of video which is there, right? Whenever you're trying to watch a reel, whenever you're trying to watch IGTV videos which involves long videos, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 30, whatever, all of these are got from the server in chunks of data. Okay, chunks in the sense, let me show here again. You see this, yeah, white screen here, you see this white screen here. This is the chunk of data which is loaded right now. If I click here, it will take some time. Again, you will see a small white. That white will grow. If I go it here, again, you will see a small white. So that chunk of data is got from the server every time you click on it. It is never one file downloaded or the complete file downloaded. It's always the chunk of video. So what happens? It plays in chunks. Let's say until now it is playing in 1080 pixel. Next, it will make a request for next chunk. Now it realizes, hey, your bandwidth is low. So next chunk will not be sent in 1080 pixel. Next chunk will be sent in 480 pixel or something of low quality, right? So that 480 pixel will be played. Next for chunk, again it will check the bandwidth. Bandwidth is good. Again it will ask for 1080 pixel. Automatically it is adjusting. You are not manually selecting the quality. Based upon your bandwidth, it is selecting whether to play in 1080p or to play in 480p. That is called adaptive bitrate streaming. Adaptive means adaptive to your bandwidth, it is telling you which quality to play. Adaptive to your bandwidth, it is telling you which quality to play. Everybody clear? Give me yes in the chat. This is an important concept. And you should be asking yourself, why is that it is automatically adjusting? But we as people, we don't give much focus on that. But this is a wonderful system that is created. And Facebook was the first company to make this kind of system, then YouTube, then Netflix, so on and so forth. Okay. How many of you know about Oculus? If anybody knows about this, Oculus, VR, and Metaverse, I think you guys would know about for sure. Anybody heard of these two terms? Oculus VR and Metaverse? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. Just Google out this term and just type Oculus VR ADS. They have built a wonderful adaptive bitrate system, and Metaverse, they are going on the next level. Okay, just check out which kind of tech stack they are working on, which how they are building this adaptive bitrate in terms of virtual reality and augmented reality AR. You will be fascinated by the kind of system they are building. You will be fascinated by the kind of architecture that they are building. Just for your knowledge, in case anybody is interested. Okay, that is the basic ABS we talked about, adaptive bitrate streaming. These 6 things we have covered so far. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. All clear? Cool. Now let's go to next part. So this was 6. Let's go to high level design, which is 7th part. High level design. Okay. At high level, what do I need? At high level, I have 2 scenarios. What are the 2 scenarios? First, upload. And second is what? View or search. Basically, these 2 things, if I talk in layman language, I should be able to upload any content or a post or a video, whatever I want, reels or anything. And I should be able to view and search based upon whatever I want. Content, I'm not saying photos, I'm saying content here. Okay. Because content can be multiple types. Content here refers to my photos, my reels, my IGTV, and all these things, etc. etc. All of this comes under my content. Okay. Cool. So one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure. If I want to store it, if I want to store my content, there will be a database. Obviously, you want to store something, that will be a database. Which kind of database, what will be their TV schema, that we'll discuss some time later. But if I have to store a content, that will be a database for sure. Everybody agrees? Everybody agrees? In terms of databases, there will be two databases. Two databases. Which one? One for storing content. Content in the sense your actual image, your actual photo, your actual video, reels, IGTV, etc. Okay. Second is storing metadata. Metadata. Have you guys noticed? Have you guys noticed people add location to your post? People add location to their post. For example, which location, which tag, which hashtag, creation ID, and user ID, who uploaded it, where it uploaded, location, and everything. That will be done in metadata storage. Basically, with each content, there are two things. Let me give you a very simple example. Very simple example. I upload a photo when I go to London, and let's say I clicked a photo with Ed Sheeran. Okay, just one example. I clicked a photo with Ed Sheeran, or let me just type it here. Example. I went to London, okay, and clicked with Ed Sheeran, and I just put hashtag music in my post. Now, one is my actual photo, right? My content is actual photo with that sharing. That's all, which is in PNG, JPG, whatever format it is. I am not concerned about the format. Metadata is what? Metadata is my location, which is London, my hashtag music. I have tagged at sharing there. That all of this is metadata. Give me clear, if everybody clear, which kind of databases I need. One is storing the actual content. Second is storing the metadata about the content. Well, which location it was, who was there in the picture, the date it was uploaded, and all this thing, time it was uploaded, all this thing. Quickly give me clear, if everybody clear with example. Two different databases. One is for actual content storage. Second is for the data, and second is for the metadata storage. Storing content metadata, not just metadata. Okay, give me clear in the chat if everybody clear. Let me see some answers in the chat. Two kind of DB required. One is for the actual content. Second is for only the metadata. Okay, so now we are ready to see a design on a broad level. Now we can see the design on a broad level. So if I just show HLD1, you guys will be able to see it here. Can you guys see the design? Give me yes in the chat. Can you guys see the design? Give me yes in the chat. Image I'm sharing that you guys can see. Okay, you guys can see the image. Let's go back to the image. So this is your client. This is your client. There are two operations client can do. One, it can upload image, what it can view or search image. That's exactly two basic functionalities we talked about. Either I can upload or I can view or search. This is my image hosting system, or basically a service which will give me the response. When I upload, it will go through it. When I search, it will go through it. Okay. Again, this is a high level diagram. We'll go to each component one by one. We'll try to modify this diagram to as much possible. Okay. Now there are two kind of DBs I have created. On the right, you can see one is on the image storage, one is on the image metadata. One is on the image storage, which stores your content, your images, your reels, whatever it is. And second is the metadata part. I have already given an example. What is metadata? What is content? Give me clear, if everybody clear with this very, very fundamental HLD of Instagram. Very, very fundamental HLD or Instagram. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. All clear? Cool. Now let's go to further deep diving. So this HLD we have done, marking it as done. Now what? The important part, DB schema. What should my database schema look like? Which database should I opt for? And why and why? Okay. One thing is pretty much clear. I will need three tables for sure. One is content, one is user, and one is user follow. I will need three tables in my DB for sure. What is going to be the content? Content is going to have content ID, which will be my primary key. I hope all of you guys know about primary key, right? Second is going to be a path. So that will be uploaded to my S3 bucket. So that path to it. Then it talk about latitude and longitude. Latitude and longitude, correct? These things. What else? It will contain creation date, who created it. It will contain user ID, of course. Who is the one who uploaded it? Okay. My primary key will be content ID, who the one who uploaded it, what is the creation date, what is the location, what is the path, and then of course the metadata about it. Metadata about it. So metadata, we can have tags and all these things. I'm not writing all the columns. You can understand the metadata part about it. Coming to user, what is the user details? User details will of course have user ID. Every user is different, so that will be its primary key, user ID. Second thing is going to be its email, your number, your date of birth. All of these data is captured, guys. When you create an Instagram profile, they ask for all this data. Okay. Last login and creation date. All of these are using as part of your user. That these are the two tables. Third one is user follow. User follow, guys, is going to be user ID 1 and user ID 2. If I follow one user, if I follow and I follow one user, this is going to be a directional graph. This is going to be a directional graph. For example, A follows B, so it's a directional graph. It doesn't mean B follows A. A follows B doesn't mean B follows A. Okay, these three are going to be my main tables. These three are going to be my main tables in my DB schema: content, user, and user follow table. And all of these will be primary key. This is also a primary key. This is also a primary key. This is composite key. This is what you call as composite key. Composite key. In case anybody doesn't know till now. Cool, guys. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear with DB schema. Then I will talk about something interesting. Give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Then I will talk about something more interesting. This is also interesting, by the way. Can you please explain user flow again? Okay. Let's see one by one. Content flow means whatever content I'm uploading, be it reels, be it photos, reels or whatever you post in the content, reels slash photos slash whatever, IGTV and all. Okay. Its content ID, the path where it is stored in S3 bucket or Hadoop bucket, wherever distributed storage, location, creation date, user ID, metadata. In user, it's information about user. User follow, a user ID 1 follows user ID 2. Okay. Now, both of them will be primary key. Why both of them are primary key? Because I should be able to tell how many people follow user 1 and how many people follow user 2. So this is a composite key. Both keys are primary keys here. User ID 1, user ID 2. Why I was talking like this, that will come to next. The graph problem I was saying, I'll come to that. Why I'm making it a composite key again, guys? I should be able to tell who follows whom and who does not follow whom. Who follows whom and who does not follow whom, right? So with user ID 1, I will be able to tell how many followers. User ID 2, I should be tell how many followers. Okay. Give me clear if everybody clear with DB schema. Give me clear if everybody clear with DB schema. Then I will take it something next. Okay, all clear. Now moving to next, which is this. Okay. Why I was explaining this as a graph, user nodes as a graph or users as a graph vertices or graph nodes, whatever you call. Guys, tell me one thing. Let's take two users, users A and B. Okay, there are two users. A follows B. A follows B. Is it mandatory that B also follows A? Is it mandatory that B also follows A? Let's say somebody follows me. Is it mandatory that I also follow him or her? Answer in the chat. No, it is not mandatory, right? Why I'm asking this question is in case of Facebook, when you put add friend request to somebody and you become friends, it become a bi-directional graph, right? But in case of Instagram, this is unidirectional graph. So A to B path is there. B to A does not need to be a path, not mandatory. That is what I'm trying to explain. This is a unidirectional graph, guys. Just consider A and B as two different vertex or two different nodes in the graph. There is a path from A to B, yes, because A follows B. But if we talk about B to A path, that is not mandatory. Until and unless B will also follow A, that is no direction graph. That is in case of Instagram. That is in case of Instagram. In case of Facebook, it is completely different. In case of Facebook, it is completely different. What happens in case of Facebook? It happens like this. A and B are friends. A and B are friends. Since there is no concept of following and all there, so A to B will be a path. Yes. B to A will be also a path. Yes. That's happened in case of Facebook. Give me yes if everybody clear with that. So basically this is unidirection graph and this is bidirectional graph. In case of Facebook, it's bidirectional. In case of Instagram, it is unidirectional. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody clear. Okay, that is the case of Instagram versus Facebook. Okay, now understanding something, guys, this is also be going to be a weighted graph. Why weighted graph? Direction we have talked about. What is going to be the weight? Weight is going to contain how much closeness you have with a particular follower or a particular user. For example, close friend or not. Okay, and now you have access to whether they can watch, post or not. Okay, whether they can watch a post or stories or not, right? That is what it's stored in a graph in its value. Okay, you can select which user can watch my story, you can select which user can watch my post. All of this will relate to the weight of the graph. So one thing is the direction is unidirection. A follows B doesn't mean B also follows A. That is one part. Second part of it, how strongly you are connected with a particular thing, that particular connection, that is stored in a that is stored in a weight, whether he or she can watch your post or he or she can watch your stories, so on and so forth. These are the two things. And that is in case of Facebook also, WhatsApp also. All these services do that. You can select, guys, when you put a story, you can select who can watch it, who cannot watch it. Okay. You can select who can watch it, who cannot watch it. So that information is put in the weight of the graph. Weight of the graph means edge we are talking about. Vertex means the user we are talking about. I hope basic thing everybody knows about graph, vertex and edges, right? Vertex and edges, weighted graph, directional graph. Basic, very, very basic things everybody knows, right? Simple DSL. And that's how your DSL is used in system design. So that is also important. Cool, guys. That part everybody clear? That part everybody clear? Give me yes in the chat. Let me check. Okay, everybody clear? Now let's move to next part. This DB schema we were talking about, guys. DB schema we have talked. Let's talk about databases also. Which database to store, which database not to store. I hope everybody knows about SQL versus NoSQL. Give me yes if you guys know. SQL DB versus NoSQL DB. SQL versus NoSQL. Give me yes in the chat if you guys know. If you don't know, just let me know. I'll try to figure out some way. Okay, let me see. I don't know SQL according to weight they will classify. Yes, according to weight they will classify close friends and multiple things, not just close friends. There are multiple things. Who can watch stories, that is part as close friend. Who can watch posts that you can give to particular user, right? You can go to like he or she can watch my post now and that not. That relationship is classified under the weight of the graph. That relationship is classified under the weight of the graph. Okay. Don't know NoSQL. Okay. I will not take deep time into explaining SQL versus NoSQL. Basic things I can tell you. If you want to go detail, that detail will be given to you. Not worry. You can just simply Google it as well. Because if I start talking about SQL, NoSQL, it will take another 30 minutes. Then it will take time. SQL we go for a structure where the structure is common. Common structure we go for. Okay, and this as of course has to be acid component. But along with SQL, there comes drawbacks. Drawbacks is you cannot quickly do it. So there are multiple work around it. You have to go for indexing, you have to go for sharding just to get quickly fetch from it. In terms of NoSQL, when there is no common structure, okay, vertically it is scalable and multiple factors. Example, Cassandra and MongoDB. Cassandra and MongoDB. Okay, and example here is this. This is, you guys must have used MySQL, Postgres, if in case anybody has used Redis and all this. Okay, there's some common example. Now coming to this about whether should we store in a SQL DB or whether should we store in a NoSQL DB. Okay. Now guys understand there are two kind of contents. There are two kind of contents. And before the content, what are the tables we have? First table is about the content. Second table is about the user. Third is about the user follow. So these two tables can definitely be in a SQL table. No doubt about it. User and user follow, they have the common structure for all the user. They can be put in a simple, let me just copy this complete thing. They can be directly put into my SQL DB. I have no doubt about it. So this is my DB schema. I can create a SQL table here. I can create a SQL table here. No doubt about it. Okay. What about this content part? This is something important. Guys, what do you think? Where should the content be stored? In a SQL database or no SQL database? Quickly tell me. According to you, where should aware of SQL and NoSQL? Okay. According to you, where should the content be stored? SQL or NoSQL, and why? Come on, guys, quickly answer in the chat. NoSQL, it will have no structure. Data may be changed later with more metadata. Data may be changed with more metadata. Example, as it can have any value, so no structure. Mm, Any value, so no structure. Okay. What else? We can use GraphDB using that's a NoSQL, right? That's what I'm asking. Whether should we go for SQL or NoSQL? And what's the choice that you make? What's the choice that you make that this should be used in SQL, this should be used in NoSQL? Quickly answer in the chat, guys, then I will take it forward from there. The purpose of asking this question is to improve your problem solving skills. Suppose you were a developer at Instagram or you're a developer at Meta and you are trying to build something like that. How do you make business decisions? How do you take these technical decisions? All of that is important and all of these are considered in interviews. So try to think, then give me answer. We have to start either location or more for tagging. Okay, let's go in a step-by-step manner. That is something which is expected in the interview. Focus on this table, guys. This is already table. We can use any SQL table, any SQL DB. I should not say SQL table. Any SQL DB we can go for. Okay, we can Postgres. You can use Redis clusters. Anything is fine. Coming here, content-wise, understand one thing. Content is reels. Content is photos. Content is IGTV. Everybody clear? There can be multiple type of contents. It's not just one content. There are multiple type of contents. Now, storing reels will occupy more memory. Storing IGTV will require much more memory. Storing photos will require less memory. Yes or no? Storing reels and IGTV will require much more memory than storing photos. Yes or no? Basic things. In addition to that, of course, we have to store metadata also. That part I totally agree. We have to store metadata also. Let us take an here. Now just focus on this part and try to understand. There is reels, there is photos, there is IGTV, correct? Now, if I just take a deep look into it, if I just take a deep look into it, IGTV and reels, they are videos, and photos are just photos. Photos are just photos, right? This is less size and this is much more size. Now, guys, understand one thing. Understand one thing. You want less latency or you want low latency as possible. It means when I'm talking about low latency, quickly fetch IGTV slash reels slash photos. Understand with simple common sense, a file which is of more size, if you store it in a one place, it will take time to load. It will take time to execute. It will take time to fetch. Photo will immediately fetch. Agree or not? Photo will immediately fetch, but this reels or IGTV, if you're storing it in somewhere, let's say SQLDB, then it will take much more time to come. Yes or no? So one thing is pretty much clear. This photo kind of thing, which is less size, I can store in SQLDB. I have no issues. We can further optimize for that also. There is actually a big query which is used. I will talk about. But this we can use in SQLDB. But this videos, IGTV slash reels, I cannot store in SQLDB. They have to be stored. They have to be stored in distributed database. Why distributed database? Why distributed database? So that chunks of data will come, just like comes in YouTube, not complete file is stored. When you are talking about SQL, you cannot distribute a file. Either you put the file or you don't put the file. It's a binary 0 or 1. You put the complete file or you don't put the complete file. You cannot put chunks. For example, if I have 1 minute of reel, I cannot put 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, 10 second. No. I have to put complete 60 seconds or I don't put at all. I cannot put 10 seconds into 6. 1 minute video, 10 seconds into 6 chunks. That part I cannot do in case of SQLDB. Everybody clear with basic thing? Photos must be stored in SQLDB. It's actually not a SQL. I'll come to that. But IGTV reels, they cannot be stored in SQLDB. It has to be distributed DB. Give me yes if everybody clear. It has to be a distributed DB. All clear? Give me yes in the chat. Okay. Cool, guys. Now that is actually stored. It is stored in, of course, a distributed DB. It is actually stored in HDFs, which is distributed file storage system. That is Hadoop, Apache Hadoop, or S3 bucket. Amazon S3 bucket or S3 bucket, as you common call it. That is used. This is actually used in Instagram. They use S3. Okay. First thing is clear. My IGTV reads, they are stored in NoSQL databases. That is distributed. Either we can go with Hadoop or we can go with S3 bucket. They are stored in S3 bucket. Everybody clear? This is distributed system. This is a file storage system. That is how they are stored. Okay. Cool. Now this is not SQLDB. This is BigQuery because it has a lot of reads. It has a lot of reads. You have to immediately fetch. That's why it is stored in BigQuery DB. BigQuery is not exactly SQL, but it is something which can optimize the scale of Instagram because the scale of Instagram is very, very big. 2 billion active users. 2 billion active users is not a small number. Okay. This kind of database we use for BigQuery, for IGTV reels, use this. Give me yes if everybody clear. Which database to use, where to use. Can we get recording of this lecture? Yes, it's being recorded, will be given to you. Just need to, we'll discuss it at the end of the session. We have already answered this question. You will get the recording. Okay. Give me yes if everybody clear with the reels and this kind of database. Okay. Cool. Now just one more thing, guys. One more thing. You're creating three different database wherever you're using, that is totally fine. Three kind of schema you have created, one for content, one for user follow, one for user. How does the flow look like? How does the flow look like? Flow should store the relationship between these tables also, right? Tables in the sense, I say, let's say I particular user ID I, he uploaded a content with content ID that should be displayed to all the user he is following. So there must be a relationship between these three tables, yes or no? There must be some relationship between these three tables. Otherwise, how will you know which user posted which content and it goes to whom? Let's say if I have 10 for let not 10, let's say if I have 100 followers or 1,000 followers, if I'm posting something, will it go to those 1,000 followers or will it go to somewhere else? That some mapping should be there, right? For example, user ID A, it has this many users who follow them, and user ID uploaded this, that should go to those users only, not to anybody else. There should be some kind of mapping, there should be some kind of logic which defines that. Yes or no? Joins, okay. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Some kind of mapping. Now, understand one thing, guys. Joins work on SQL to SQL, Cassandra to Cassandra, it can work. But how will you make a joint on SQL to HDFS or SQL to Cassandra? Concept is correct. It has to be a join. Some kind of mapping must be stored. Concept is correct. But it's actually not just a join. It is actually not just a join, right? So coming to this part, store relationships, and that relationships are going to be what? Between users to content. Okay, users to content. That's why we have created some primary key, because that primary key will be foreign key in some other table. Users to content, okay, and content to followers. All of these should be stored somewhere, right? How do we get this? To get this mapping, for this mapping we use wide column DB, wide column database or wide column DB. What actually Instagram uses, this is Cassandra. Cassandra is what they use, Instagram. Okay. Now, why we go for Cassandra only, or why we go for this? It's extremely fast. So Cassandra, what does it use? Let me just give a brief about Cassandra in case anybody doesn't know. All I covered in last session also. What is Cassandra as such? It's obviously a NoSQL database. It's stored in a key value. Okay, that mapping is stored in key value pair. Similar to your MongoDB, similar to your JSON, whatever you call. Okay. So what it will happen is always maintain replicated servers. Always maintain replicated servers. Okay, first thing key value pair, second replicated servers. In this case of replicated servers, what is going to happen? Even if one instance is not updated, multiple instances are updated, so that read operation becomes much faster. That relationship, for example, when user can have multiple contents. If you've seen some pages, they have like thousands and thousands of posts. That is a very big relationship, right? 1:1,000 and all these things. Mapping one user ID with 1,000 content ID, that is very big relationship. One content can have millions of followers, so one content can be huge followers, right? That relationship, we need a NoSQL database which can be scaled. Guys, SQL databases are good. I'm not saying joins will not work, but anybody who know a basic SQL joins, anybody who know, it works upon Cartesian joins. I hope everybody knows about it. If there are m rows and if there are n rows that you're trying to put, and if you put a simple join over it, you will get m cross n results. It works on Cartesian joins that I believe everybody should know. And rows, columns, and rows. Columns and all, it will give you multiplied by this m cross n results. Okay. Anybody who knows basic SQL, he or she will know about SQL joins. That m cross n can be very, 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 very big number. Okay. Fetching the record from this very big number is a tremendous task. Even if you go for indexing, even if you shard your database, again, it will not be able to fetch in the time that we require. We put our latency as 200 ms, that is not possible in SQL joins. That's why we go for Cassandra. NoSQL database can be easily scaled, can use replicated servers, extremely fast fetch. And these are the design discussion which you need to take as a technical lead or as a senior developer, not senior also, lead developer, you have to take these decisions. Okay. Cool guys. Give me yes if everybody clear. Quickly give me yes if everybody clear. Hadoop default DB. Default DB, yes, it is default DB, but HDFS here, this is a default DB. Okay. Quickly give me yes if everybody clear. Then we'll go to something else. This part we have done so far. Let me see what is pending. DB schema we have covered everything in detail. Cool. Now comes the most important part, guys, that I have already discussed. This is the crux of Instagram. Not Instagram, Facebook also. 10th, which is the most crux part, just focus everything because it's a very interesting problem. And knowingly or unknowingly, you are using it. You might know it, you might not know it. Let's see. Newsfeed generation. Newsfeed generation. Okay. So if I go to top, where is newsfeed generation? Where is this part? Yeah, ranking and newsfeed generation. This is the most important part. Let's go to this. This is actually most important. That's why I marked it as most important. That's why I was saving it for the time. What does newsfeed generation mean in general? Newsfeed generation or timeline you call, whatever you call, it is like this. Basically, whenever you open Instagram, you want to see on your timeline most relevant and latest, of course. When I open Instagram, I don't want to see a post that I have seen 10 days ago. Obviously, I don't want to see that, right? I want most relevant and most latest content from where I follow, from people I follow, account I follow. Basic thing. I'm not going into much technical, just very basic thing. When you open Instagram, when you just open Instagram, what do you want to see? You want to see most relevant, most recently updated. You don't want the stale data. For example, I open Instagram, I watch some content. Let's say one picture of my friend. 10 days later, I am watching same picture. That is not what I want, right? Every time a new content is there, that is what I want. So most relevant and most updated content should be shown on my timeline. Everybody clear with that? Yes or no? Everybody clear with that? Yes or no? Okay. Now coming to the next part. Repeat once. It's nothing to repeat, guys. So, okay, but when you want to open your Instagram timeline, what do you want to see? You want to see the most relevant and latest content from the people you follow. People you follow, account you follow, whatever you call. For example, 10 days ago you see a picture. Now 10 days after, you don't want to see the same picture. If there are new content which is available, you want the new content to be seen. You don't want the old content to be seen. Agree? Every time you want the latest content, every time you want the most relevant content. You don't want something irrelevant which you are not following. You just want the relevant and latest content. If I talk in a very basic sense how it would work, very basic sense, right? Let's say I want top 100 photos, top 100 photos of my feed. How if I have to calculate top 100 photos of my feed, right? First, my server should search users I follow, correct? Then get a list of all content my users have posted or my people I follow have posted, content they have posted. Third, go for a ranking method. And fourth is show. What is ranking method? For example, one video is very trending based upon likes, based upon views, based upon shares, based upon your geolocation reason, etc., etc. That needs to be done, and then it should be shown to timeline. That's That's how it should have worked technically. Agree? Let's say I want to talk up, I want to see my feed. What will be the 100 post in my feed? How it will go for the feed? First thing, whatever accounts I follow, go to them, check all of their latest content, put them in the ranking method. Let's say 100 of my followers or 100 of my account, 100 of people that I follow, they have posted one photo each. So 100 posts will be there. Out of those 100 posts, some posts will have more likes, some posts will have less like. Those who have more like, they will be shown first. Those who have less like, they will be shown last. So some ranking methodology will be there based upon likes, view, share. Finally, it will be shown in my timeline. Shown to my timeline. That is how the flow should look like. Everybody agree? Simple, common sense. If I have to generate a feed, till tomorrow I will get the Netflix recording. This is something which you will be able to do, right? If I want only the top 100 photos of my feed, first search users I follow, second get a list of all content, third ranking, fourth show to a timeline. Now this is something complex. Why this is something complex? First of all, you have to search for all users that you follow, number one. Correct? Let's say if I'm following 1,000 people, now it will go for all 1,000 people. Then it will search for all content they have done in 1,000 people. Second thing. Third, it will rank all this, and fourth, and then it will show the timeline. So what is there? It is that I have to query multiple tables. Then perform sorting or ranking, whatever you call, sorting slash ranking, whatever you call, right? That needs to be done. Then what? Finally, it is shown to me. This is definitely not a good idea. This is very, very high latency. I don't want to wait to see my post. I don't want to wait to see my timeline. My timeline should be as quick as possible. My timeline should be as quick as possible. Quickly give me yes in the chat if everybody agrees. Correct? I want to see it as quick as possible. So I go to Instagram, quickly I should be able to see. I don't want to wait for it to be generated. So this kind of approach will definitely not work for newsfeed generation. So what is the correct approach? Let's talk about three approaches, then we'll select which one is the correct approach. And this is what most commonly asked in the interview. Push versus pull, or let's talk about pull versus push, or hybrid. We'll talk about one by one. We'll see which one is best and why should we go for something. Pull, push, and hybrid. Okay. Pull model means what? Pull model means what? Your client, whoever is your client, wherever browser device that you're trying to access, right? That client, it will pull the news feed from your server. One more thing, guys. One more thing just to tell you. Since this will be a high latency, your news feed is pre-computed. Your news feed is pre-computed. There are dedicated servers who are working, who work on newsfeed only. Okay. Just to tell you what does that mean. Even before you log into your Instagram, log in the sense, let's say I'm offline, right? I'm offline, I'm not using Instagram. The moment I will come online, the moment I will open the Instagram app, it is not like, okay, I put on open, then it will search for, okay, when there is a new post or not, then it will tell me. No, nothing like that. Devang's screen is visible for you guys. I think it should be visible to all. Guys, is my screen visible to all? Give me yes in the chat. Is my screen visible to all? Give me yes in the chat. It's visible, right? Okay, cool. What I'm discussing right now is, suppose in the case of you user, even before you log in, Instagram, there are dedicated servers which are working to calculate your feed. Basically, the moment you connect to Wi-Fi, the moment you connect to your mobile data, then you open Instagram, you think at that time all this computation will happen? No, because otherwise it will take a lot of time. You come online, then you say, hey, search for new post. That search will go to all users. That search will go to all posts. All posts will be shown. It will take a lot of time. You don't want to waste the time, right? The moment you immediately click on it, there are dedicated servers which are working on calculating your pre-computed feed. Even before you log in, there are posts ready to you to be served. Agree? So let me just show you a simple demo here. I'm going to my Instagram. Just observe it, guys. The moment I click on this link, the moment I go to my Instagram, let me go to Instagram feed. The moment I will go to my Instagram, I'll be able to see feed. It will not take time to create a feed. It will be automatically created some post. I click on not now. I don't want to see anything. So it will creating some post, whatever it is there. Correct. It is already creating a post. I don't have to wait for it to create a post or to get me the data. It is automatically having all the data. That is what I was explaining to you guys. Your feed is pre-computed. Your feed is not computed at the runtime. Your feed is not computed at the runtime. Your feed is pre-computed. It's not like I will come online, then I will put a poll request, then I will wait. Nothing like that. It is pre-computed. When we open Instagram, post posted within a minute will also be shown. How is that handled? There should be a new pull request. That's what I was coming to. That's what I was coming to. Okay. That part is clear. It's pre-computed. That part it is clear. It is pre-computed, not at the runtime. In case of messenger service, it's exactly the opposite. Until and unless you come to online, let's say WhatsApp you are using, you come online. Now you come online, now it will make a call to that load balancer, to that server, that whether there is a new message for me, it will give you a new message. That's how messaging service works. But in case of social media, that is not how it works. Okay, that are pre-computed feeds. Now these are the three methods that I was saying. Since it's going to be pre-computed, now there are three methods. First, either you can pull the news feed from your server, okay, on regular basis, or manually whenever you need to. Okay. So what will happen? Let's say after every 10 seconds, you say, hey, pull me the data. After every 10 seconds, you are saying, hey, server, give me new data, give me new data. What if there is no data? What will happen? Most responses will be empty. Most of your responses will be empty because there is no such data in every 10 seconds, right? So that pull model is definitely not a good thing. What can be the push model? Push model can be a server can push new data to the user. But that will become a problem. When it will become a problem, let's say problem for celebrity or problem for influencers / celebrity. For these people who have more than million plus followers or billion plus followers, now what will happen for such people? Once one post will needs to be pushed to 1 million plus or whatever the number of followers, that needs to be pushed. That is definitely via long polling. This is increases the complexity. This is definitely not a good idea. Try to understand what is happening here. One is pull, one is push. What is the meaning of pull? Pull means your device is saying, hey, give me the new data in 10 seconds, every 10 seconds. Suppose that none of your connections put any new data in 10 seconds. What will be the response? Response will be empty. Not in every 10 seconds you will have the new data, right? So it will return most of the responses empty. So pull is not a good way in that case. Push in the sense, the server will push the data to whatever the user it follows. Okay, so the user who follows it. Now that will become a big trouble for people who have a lot of followers, right? For influencers, for celebrities who have many followers, their post needs to be pushed from the server to multiple clients. That is definitely why long polling, it will increase the complexity, time complexity basically. Time complexity you call as, or latency you call, it will increase. Hybrid approach, and this is what actually Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of them do. What they do is this. They create pull plus push model. Okay. So for celebrities, what they do is they follow a hybrid approach. Okay. High number of followers, they will go for a pull model. Okay. And for normal users, they follow a push model. This is what they divide. And that's why user segregation is important. For celebrity, they follow pull model because they have less number of feed to be posted, less number of feed in their account. So what it will happen? Pull model means they will pull on the regular basis. Okay. Push model means the server will push data to these users for normal people. Okay. And it also provides you option to fetch pull model. So basically, if I just give an example, have you guys seen sometimes there is this notification, and just let me know if you guys have seen or not. When you're watching, there is a notification called see new post. Just on the top of your timeline, you will see new post and some, I don't know what it is, a drop down kind of a thing is there, kind of a menu or something is there, drop down. Have you guys seen this? Have you guys seen this? Sometimes you are scrolling, suddenly there is an option which will come. Give me yes in the chat if you guys have seen it. Suddenly option will come, see more post or see new post, something like this. It happens on LinkedIn also. It happens on LinkedIn also, not just on Instagram and Facebook. Yes, when you have new post available. How do you know the new posts are available? That's exactly what I was coming to. When there are new posts available, did your client make a request that I want new post? No. Server send a request, hey, there are new posts, go ahead and see it. What about caught up option? Caught up option means you're trying to make more requests. I'll come to caught up option. That's a pull request. That's not a push request. Coming to this part, guys, this notification, this is a push. This is not a pull. You did not say, hey, I want more pictures. Okay, let's understand pull and push. What does it mean? When you are requesting, that is a pull. When other person or the server is giving, that is a push. In this case, new post, you didn't ask for new post. Server is telling you, hey, there are new posts, watch it, right? You would be like, I didn't ask for it, right? But it is telling you that is a push service. Pull service is when you get caught up. When do you get caught up? When you click on, it's something called refresh button. Refresh is by, I think, you scroll down and you do something, scroll up or something, right? I don't remember the shortcut for that. I think you do scroll up and refresh, it will refresh. That it will create a pull model, right? It will pull if there are two cases now. There are two cases now. When you refresh, there will be two cases. Let me delete it. Okay. First, if new posts are available, then it will show it new post. If new post not available, then it will show caught up. You have seen all this, so you are caught up. These are the push and pull, and all these social media, they use hybrid push pull model, combination of push pull model. Give me yes if everybody clear, then I will take something next. Give me yes if everybody clear, then I will take something next. Everybody clear with caught up model? How does caught up model works? How everybody clear with new post available? Plus sign is there, new post available. You are not even asking whether new posts are there. It is telling you automatically. Without pull, you are getting a notification. That's a push model. Okay. When you are saying, hey, I want more post, and you scroll so much that no more options are available, then it says, hey, we are done for the day. Caught up is there. You will get a tick mark, or I don't know. I haven't done that, but I think there would be a tick mark or something, right? That no more posts are available. That is how push and pull both are used in your production. We go with the hybrid model. This is a very good interview question. This can be a complete system design in itself, how to generate the newsfeed. Okay. 10 now, 10th part we have done, which was last. DB schema, everything we have talked about. Let's talk a bit about cache also. Cache and intelligent cache, right? I think all of you guys know about cache, so you will definitely know about cache and all, right? So we'll not go much into detail in the cache. So obviously you know about CDN, which we discussed in last class also. Content delivery network, which is used to fetch the images in via load balancers to multiple geolocations. Okay. Somebody is sitting in Mumbai, somebody is sitting in London. Obviously, they are not fetching the request from the same place. So there will be dedicated servers nearby London, nearby Mumbai, that will they get the response. That criteria is handled via our CDN. That criteria is all handled via our CDN. Okay. CDN is used for replicated servers. So just to type a bit about CDN also. Cache I will take later then. Make it as 12, make it as 11. CDN we have also discussed, just quickly revising. Distributed servers across world, across globe, whatever you say. Okay. And based upon your geography, based upon your bandwidth, from CDM request will come. Okay, whether they have to send a 240 pixel chunk or whether they have to send a 480 pixel chunk, that will come. And CDN uses replicated server. Okay, reduce the latency. That's the whole purpose of CDN. Example I've already given, just to write it. One in London, user A in London, user A in Mumbai. They will not get the request from same server. Okay, so they will get request from, let's say, UK server. Let's say there is a server in Delhi or a server in Mumbai. They will fetch from different servers. There is no one global server there. That's replicated servers around the globe, distributed servers along the globe. Words along the globe. Okay, now coming to cache, guys. Cache, guys, you already know is used for fetching frequently searched items. Fetching frequently searched items. Okay. So our delivery service, it's working on a very, very huge scale, right? So it should be able to work on globally distributed servers and it should be able to fetch, quick post, quick timelines, quick searches based upon it. So sometimes we have to make very quick, so we can go for intelligent cache also. That is something we discussed in last class also. Intelligent cache, how do we design intelligent cache? Intelligent cache is built on the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule means 80% of traffic, if you guys remember 80-20 rule, 80% of traffic because of 20% of content. That is 80-20 rule, right? So why don't put that 20% content in cache and very quick results or very low latency. That is how you can make a very, very intelligent cache. That's why your servers are so fast, you get the responses so fast. Basically, the whole purpose is to increase the user time, keep the user more and more engaged. The less latency it will have, more engaged the user will feel. And that's the ultimate purpose of all social media. That's how they generate money out of it. Okay. Less latency, more engagement, more revenue. That's as simple as that. More screen time relates to more revenue. Cool. Cool. Less latency, more engagement, more revenue. This is how very quick results you will get based upon this. Okay, guys. Before ending up this session, let me go to final design diagram. I will have a discussion around it. Then we'll wrap it up. Cool, guys. Everybody clear till cache? Give me yes in the chat. Everybody clear till cache? Give me yes in the chat. Let me go to the chat. Everybody clear till cache? It's good, right? Now let me just show you the final diagram that I wanted to show. I'll go to HLD final. Yeah, I think now you guys can see the image. Can you guys see the image HLD final? Can you guys see the image of HLD final? Give me yes in the chat. Let me see. Yeah, observe what is happening. As a user, you can upload or you can view. With upload also, there are replicated servers, not just one server. Because one server go down, complete service go down. That's why you have multiple servers. One server, two server, three server, there will be a load balancer here to determine which service to go for. It will go to image storage. Image storage is also replicated, multiple replicas. Okay. Similarly, image metadata will have a backup for image metadata or photo metadata, video metadata, content metadata, IGTV metadata, whatever. Now comes the download image service when you want to view, search, download, whatever it is. That will also have replicated servers. That replicated servers will give you a request. That is the high level diagram of Instagram. Okay, complete high level diagram of Instagram. If I go to much more into components, let me show you one more figure. If I have to go much more into components, this is the diagram. Let me zoom it, guys. Can you guys see it? This is actually handwritten, so not sure if you guys are able to see it properly. It's a handwritten. Can you see it? You guys can see it. Give me yes or no in the chat. You guys can see it, right? Okay. Give you a very brief about it. This is user onboarding. When a user comes to Instagram, this is a load balancer based upon request. It goes to user service. Now there are clusters that I have created. This will be actually MySQL cluster will not be there. This will be Cassandra cluster, right? So whatever, let's say I want to view my timeline. So that will request will be fetched by user service from this MySQL cluster. Okay. First, it will check in the Redis cache. If it is available in cache, it will return from cache itself. It will be much faster. If it is not available in cache, it will search from cluster, then it will show, and then it will put back in the cache. That's the two difference between cache hit and cache miss. Okay. Then it is MySQL cluster, same from the graph service. This graph service tells you whether a particular user is you follow or you not follow. Okay. This Kafka is used for event continuation, so it will show you notifications. Somebody asks you to request, somebody asks you to follow, somebody asks you like, somebody asks you mention in the story. All these notifications are pushed by a Kafka. Okay. Cool, guys. Now wrapping up the session. In the ending, I just want a few things. Just let me know. Bear me with for 2 more minutes before wrapping up the session. Okay. If you guys have learned anything new, please do one thing. Anything new you liked, what you want to improve, everything you can post on LinkedIn. You guys already know my LinkedIn, or just search my name on LinkedIn or search my name on Google. You will be able to find. Post on LinkedIn whatever you have learned, anything new. Okay. Tag Tutort Academy, tag Tutort Academy and me. There you will be able to find it. Okay. Then there is a course for system design, which I have already shared, and I will ask Manu to share the link in the chat as well. And next masterclass, tell me which topic you want. Which topic you want, we'll cover. There can be a lot of topics, good, interesting problem to solve in system design. There's a very good course for Mass System Design, guys, which is sponsored or which is given by Tutort Academy, where you will have highly dedicated members who are coming from big fun companies and really good product-based companies. They teach you, and hopefully I will be your mentor soon if you guys join it quickly. Okay, that is going to start soon. Cool, guys, we can wrap it up here now. Thanks for being such a wonderful audience, and I hope it was something useful for you guys. Okay, thanks for joining in. Feel free to connect me on LinkedIn or anywhere you want. Just Google my name. Thanks for joining in. We can wrap up this session, and we'll see you in the next masterclass soon. Have a good night.